I'm Kimberly Scales, the mother of Jovan. My son got murdered over in this 118th area. And I want some answers so me and my family can get the closure that we deserve and we need.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Kareem Hinton. I'm an organizer with Black Lives Matter Cleveland. Rather than being out here in my usual capacity as an organizer with Black Lives Matter Cleveland, I'm out here as a grieving and concerned family member. My stepson, Jovan Scales, was murdered Labor Day weekend, and we're here because we're trying to find this killer. We know that there's a gap between police and the community, and we're part of the community, so we're trying to remove them out of the equation so that folks will be more inclined to give us any relevant information that can help us get to the bottom of this and finding Jovan's killer. So we got no leads thus far. Police, know very little, and that's kind of where. But they're not very forthcoming with information. I guess they say to protect the integrity of the investigation. So we're gonna, have to respect that. I want to say that there is a reward. It's not much because it's coming from us, the family, but it's something. You know what I mean? And when I'm talking about, I'm trying to give at least $500 out of my pocket, what I could afford to give on what I make.
Now, how does it feel as an activist to be on the other end of what you normally advocate for, in a sense?
I'm used to being in a certain amount of control, and I'm used to being that leader or that guide. And this is one of the most helpless I've ever felt, since I've really been doing this work. And it's not a good feeling, but I get some strength. I mean, just even with not a big showing, but a small showing of folks that came out, because it's folks that I've worked with, so that means that they respect me, they value me, and they're going to be my crutch, because now I can lean on them, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm leaning on them.
And last question, I want you to be honest if you can. Do you feel that, because I kind of feel like this, and I can understand if you feel like this, I want you to tell the viewers, do you feel that because you sacrifice and give so much to the community, do you feel that maybe you're not receiving that in return now that you have your own trial that you have dealing with right now?
No, I mean that even plays into the narrative of, well, like with the work I do with BLM, what do you think about black on black crime? You know what I mean? Like here now it is you're a victim of it, and it's all bogus. I'm not angry, or resentful or anything like that. Not toward the community. I understand why the community is this way, and it has everything to do with factors outside of the community for the most part. I mean, don't get me wrong, we bear some responsibility, but you
understand it's systematic.
I understand exactly the systematic institutional racism that is going on here that creates a ghetto. You know what I mean? That in how they neglect our educational system and how we're treated in these municipalities that make one not believe in the system and that the system can work for you. So therefore, I understand why folks aren't necessarily forthcoming with information. There's a disconnect between them and law enforcement. And so, I have to put a face to it and not, what I mean? So they say, hey, this brother is out here, but, and so we need to give back. But, the system was designed to be like this, to create an atmosphere where people don't participate. And I'm not mad at them for that. I'm just going to keep being out here for myself and for them till we get it better.
I mean, I just want them to think like if it was their loved one, they want answers, and just, give us what they know.
Every black person that's killed is not a drug dealer. It's
right.
Shouldn't be demonized.
Yeah.
So he was, had both parents, nice young man. So what can people do? The numbers, you'll be passing more flyers out?
Yeah, we'll be passing more flyers out. You see it's Detective Ford, 216-623-6206. That's the detective working the case, and or they can call the Cuyahoga County crime tip line, which is 1-800-225-5324.
This is the second consecutive week. How many weeks will this continue?
So I mean,
until we get answers.
yeah, I mean, we're just gonna keep it going to, we're inspired to do it. We're gonna, weather permitting, and also just doing other things. I mean, we're gonna stay vigilant, but sometimes our staying vigilant might not necessarily mean us canvassing. It might mean us paying visits to people down in City Hall. If we find out certain suspects, maybe us paying a visit to their homes. But we're going to remain vigilant. Like, there's not a week going to go by that we're not making some kind of effort, in trying to apprehend the killers of Jovan.